morning, good afternoon or good evening, depends when you're watching the video. And welcome to the 5th day of this little adventure. My idea or my plan for the 5th day was for me to go from Drvar all the way to the Adriatic Sea, to the town of Split. It's a coastal town in Croatia, and from there to follow the coastline all the way to the Bosnia, and from there I will turn left all the way to the inland of Bosnia, in the town of Mostar. In Mostar, architect Bogdan Bogdanovic designed the Partizan necropolis, but as we all know, life kinda had its way not to follow up the plan. It was early in the morning when I sat on my bike, but I wanted to visit a Tito's train. My friend from my hometown told me that there was a train situated on the top of the mountain, which is just above the town of Drvar. Also, he told me that there is a restaurant there, some sort of a tavern, that has a specific charm. So I sat on a bike, went up there, parked the bike in front of the tavern, and first I went up to visit the train. It was a small path that leads to behind the restaurant, and the train is situated there, the locomotive and few wagons that are placed on a track. How they put that train up there, I really don't know, but someone put a really good effort. After hanging around the train, I went to the tavern. I had a light breakfast there and of course a cup of coffee. And I was surprised how nicely was designed, like the interior had that local vibe. After the restaurant, I went down south. At one curve of the road, I stopped to take a panoramic shot of the town of Drvar, just to see how it looks from the distance. On my way down, I stopped in the center to take pictures of a monument that was damaged during the Civil War. From Drvar, I went straight to the border. It was very early in the morning and the border crossing was in the mountains somewhere. So I passed it and I went straight towards Split. While I was approaching from the top, I saw the city. The Split is actually a very, very big town, especially for the coastal town. But some little voice in my head told me, skip the Split, just move along, continue, don't stop there, just go, go, go. So I looked at the map on a tank bag and I saw the town of Makarska and I was like, yeah, that would be a great idea. It is on my way and I was there when I was a kid. So I merged into the main road that goes just beside the sea. I found a place to park the motorcycle, and when I parked the motorcycle, I took the camera and take 2 pictures from the opposite angle so I can upload the update of my journey, because as I said, in town of Drvar I couldn't find the internet connection. I sat in the cafe just across the place where I parked. So I put my helmet, I took off the jacket, and the waiter who came to bring me the coffee questioned me about my shirt and about what I'm doing and what I'm traveling. And he says that he was born in town of Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. During the summertime he is working at a cafe down at the coastal town, but during the winter, most of his winter time he spends at the town of Novi Sad, which is one of the biggest towns in Serbia, because he have an aunt there. So we kind of talked a little bit about it and it was kind of touching moment, right? It was great. And while I continued uploading update on a Facebook page, I posted 2 photos and I explained to the people on the post that I didn't have the internet in Drvar. So I'm uploading update, and while I was typing, I had a notification, the comment on that post that said, welcome. I was caught in a bit of a surprise because, okay, I'm in Croatia. We kind of had a war between us 20 years ago. I mean, from that point, 20 years ago. And I was like, okay, how should I react? I looked to the left, everything was normal. I looked to the right, and everything was normal. So I kind of hit the like button, like diplomatically, I hit the like button, and I thought it was okay. So I continued typing and everything, posting, sending, etc. And at one point, I saw a person that came to my right side, and before I managed to raise my head to see who it was, I heard him asking, "Is that your motorcycle with the Belgrade license plates?" And then I saw kind of not so tall guy, glasses, tiny beard, looked fit with the blue trousers. It was like a moment that I couldn't recognize what his intentions were. Was it a problem? It was the second that lasted for 10 minutes in my head, but I didn't know how to respond correctly. Should I be tough, or I should not put myself in a weak position or whatever? And I kind of gave a diplomatic reply because I had the helmet, I had the jacket, I have the sponsorship t-shirt, so it is obvious that that motorcycle is mine. And I said, yeah, of course, that is my motorcycle. Is there a problem? Should I move it? And he said, no, it's fine. I came to say hi, to meet you, because I'm following your photo reportage since you left the Belgrade. I was the one who left the comment, welcome. And I was like, bro, you just took the 10 years of my life, are you crazy? And I said, join me in a cup of coffee, now you have to join me on the cup of coffee. So he sat and we had a few chats, we grabbed the coffee, his friend came and we chatted a little bit, and at one point he said, listen, I have to go back to the work because I took a half hour break just to meet you. If you wish, there is a monument above the church that is dedicated to the people who fought in the World War II. And if you have time, if you're willing to, you can come to my workplace. I work in a fire department as a fireman. You can come to hang around with us. And I was like, bro, I'm invited by a fireman to hang around at the fire station. I mean, of course I'm gonna accept it. So I took the pictures, sat on a bike and went to the fire station, bro. So we hang around there for, I believe it was 4 or 5 hours. I met some of his friends and he said, listen, the founder and the president of our anti-fascist movement group in Croatia, he is coming here. It would be nice if you want to meet him. And I said, yeah, of course. But he was like, listen, he doesn't like to be called sir. He prefers comrade. He came, I took a picture of them with a flag and we hanged around. Of course, I took a picture with Nikola. And once again, I want to thank Nikola for the great company and great time we had. A few years later, he visited Belgrade. We met here, of course. And after that, he explain me what is the fastest way to the town of Mostar. But I sat on my bike and just went straight. I missed the turn, but I didn't care because that road that I rode my motorcycle was great. On my left there was like land and trees and everything, and on my right there was a sea, like salty air doing the peeling on my face. It was, I just, like open up my jacket and it was freaking great. I mean, that was unbelievable. I came to the border. It was a bit crowded. I think I was like 5th or 6th vehicle in the line, but it didn't take long. I was there in no time. From border crossing, I went straight forward towards the town of Mostar. It was a very straight road, and I don't know if it was really that long, but it felt that I traveled for like an eternity. And the last road that leads away from Mostar, after that it was like entering the town. I just made a turn to the right, like some force just pushed me. I really wasn't thinking about it. I just made a turn and I was like, okay, I made a turn. Let's see what's next on the map. And on a tank bag that was on a motorcycle, I saw on a map that next objective was a Tjentište, the monument at Sutjeska. Idea was for me to open up the tent and sleep under the clear sky, so to speak. And then I missed the turn to the left that should take me to the Tjentište, and I just keep going forward. So I entered some small town, I think it was called Blagaj, but there was something very odd about the town. I mean, something didn't add up for me. So I was riding through the town very slowly and everybody was looking at me like I was some tourist attraction. So I kind of ignored it. I tried to find my way through the town and up in the hills. So I saw some road that goes to the right and up. So I managed to make a turn, and after I made the other turn, the second turn, the road just led me down between some houses and some small warehouses where they put corn and stuff. I stopped because there was no point. I'm getting into some places where I don't know where I'm going. So I stopped. I opened up the helmet because I had the flip-up helmet. And at that point I realized that there are only men standing around me, and I was kind of encircled. And that moment made me feel really uncomfortable because during the Civil War, that area was fiercely fought between Serbian forces and Bosnian forces. And that wasn't that long time ago. What I did is I just told them, guys, I'm lost. I need to go to Tjentište, Sutjeska, because I'm doing photo reportage. And when I finished my question, there was a dead silence. I didn't know. I still can't conclude if that silence lasted for 1 second, 2 seconds, or an hour. Just time bent at that moment. And they were all standing around me, looking straight at me. And there was like an elderly man who came in front and said, okay, I'm kind of paraphrasing because I'm translating it to English. He said, "Sonny, you missed the turn. You should go back. And when you get back, you turn to the right, follow the road, and when you get to the village," he said the name of the village, "and when you enter the village, you should slow down because there is a police there, traffic police. And once you exit that village, you just follow the road to the mountains. And at one point, you will manage to get to the crossroad. Just follow the road on the right. You will drive, and after a while, you will get to your territory where your people are." The moment he said, "your people," I had a cold sweat just running down my face and neck and spine. I still have the chills from that moment. And I said, "Thanks, Pops. Thanks for the directions." And he said, "Safe journey, son, and take care of yourself." So I turned the bike, just hit the throttle and just went away from there. So after following the instructions of that elderly man, I managed to get to the point, to that crossroad, and I started driving. It was a road that goes through the mountains, and it was getting dark. I was already exhausted, and everything was kind of just surrounding me, like encroaching me. I felt very extremely tired. My concentration is going down. My strength is going down, stamina is non-existent, and I was following the road, and every second felt like like whole year that passed. I was riding there, and I start looking like to enter some forest, bushes, whatever, because it was all forested area. It was dense forest. So I was checking out the places where I can just run in with my motorcycle between the trees into the forest where I can put my tent and just to spend the night there. But I was just keep going, and at one point I saw the huge flag of Republic of Srpska. I don't know how to explain it. I felt a huge relief. It kind of boosted me up a little bit, gave me a little bit more strength, and I continued for the next 20 kilometers or so. It was already dark, and the moment I entered the town of Nevesinje, it was like few houses here on the left, and the big tavern, like a restaurant. So I parked my motorcycle beside some small truck, and when I was getting off my motorcycle, I lost the balance and I almost tipped the motorcycle on a side. Luckily, that truck was there, so my side case hit the iron fender of that truck, so it didn't tip over. I was exhausted, and I remember that moment. It was like in a Western movies. It had the sliding door. I entered the restaurant, and everybody instantly stopped talking and started looking at me. And I approached to the nearest desk where few people sat, like few men, and I asked, "Excuse me, can you tell me where can I find some accommodation?" And he was looking at me and he asked, "From where do you come from?" And I said, "I was driving from Drvar. I was traveling all around Croatia and Bosnia, entered the Croatia and the Bosnia again." And he said, "Don't worry. Sit here, have a drink on our account, we'll take care of everything." I sat there and they called a few phones and they told me that everything is arranged, €5 for the night, and I have the room with showers, internet connection and everything, 2 houses up the road. That day definitely felt like it lasted more than 24 hours, like it lasted for 72 hours or something. I drove for a lot of hours, lot of kilometers I passed. I had like no moment for relaxing. It was all intense, good, scary, everything. And it is a spoiler alert a bit. That day, 5th day of my journey, was the most intense one. I really don't know if those people in town of Blagaj had some hostile intentions towards me. Maybe they were just surprised, as I was surprised when I realized that I was surrounded by them. Maybe like that whole situation kind of overwhelmed me, so I felt threatened. Maybe I wasn't in any danger at all, but it did cross my mind that that area was a witness to the very fierce battles between Serbian forces and Bosnian forces. So yeah, I guess this will conclude the 5th day of my photo reportage, my little adventure. If you like the story, just drop the comment. If you like the monuments, also drop the comment. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want notifications and everything, just hit the subscribe button. Yeah, it's time for me to put the cap on, and I'll see you in the next video.